This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 158 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by EcoGold, high-performance products for your horse at ecogold.ca. Enjoy today's tip. Hi, Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. You're also listening on the warmest day we've had in a very long time. Maybe winter is breaking and spring will finally be here in another week. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with the calendar. Well, today back with us from the Eventing Radio Show, we have Ashley Adams, who was on again last week as the co-host. She's one of the rotating professional rider co-hosts there on the Eventing Radio Show. She works as assistant trainer to Bonnie Mosser at Point Above Farm up there in Pennsylvania. And following a successful career as a young rider, Ashley competed at a 4-star level in 2009, and she's looking forward to continued success with her thoroughbred gelding Vaunted. We'll be back with Ashley and Chris right after we speak about our friends from Canada, EcoGold. They have the high-performance saddle pads and horse boots that the professional riders have come to love and rely on. They are non-slip, 100% breathable, and the ultimate in comfort for protection for your horse. Made with a high-tech material and state-of-the-art design, EcoGold's innovative products are the choice of top riders Philip Dutton, McLean Ward, Ashley Holzer, Karen O'Connor, Boyd Martin, and Jessica Phoenix. For more information about this fantastic line of products, and you really do need to check them out, at ecogold.ca. That's .ca, not .com, because they are out of Canada. EcoGold, ECOGOLD.ca.
Well, Ashley, we're coming to our topic or tip of the week, and it's something that is very interesting. You mentioned Leslie being, a very popular rider over here, and a lot of younger riders look at these more experienced riders. They may be Olympic medalists, world championships, or world champions, or they've been on the team, and you think of them being kind of up there and not approachable, being on a different level. But I think you wanted to talk a little bit about this and how important it is. It's all part of the learning process, and so we're going to call this topic of the week, "Don't be afraid to ask."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely one of the younger riders that's up and coming, and kind of, you hang back in the warm-up stance and you kind of watch and see what everybody does, and you're very aware of what the upper-level riders are doing, everything from what products they're using to, how they ride their horses, to what they say, and how they walk their lines and how they warm up, and the whole 9 yards. So you see all of that taking place, but that being said, this past weekend at Pine Top, there were some things that didn't really ride as well as you had walked, or as, the steps weren't, and in between some of the combinations weren't exactly as you thought they would be, and that kind of thing. And your only way to find that out is oftentimes to just go out there and do it. And with the upper level riders, they usually, the older crowd, if you will, they're going to yell at me for saying that, but the more experienced ones that have been around, the
mature riders.
There you go, the mature riders, the Leslies and the Kims, and the Phillips and the Boyds, and they have multiple horses. And for people of my generation, when you oftentimes only have the one horse at a certain level, or what have you, you don't get that, you don't get to go out there and ride and see exactly how it happens. So, you hear chatter in the warm-up, but you don't actually really, you're either too afraid or too intimidated or whatever to go and ask. But at the end of the day, the sport goes around because there are all ages and levels and, athletic abilities and horses and types of people and types of horses doing it. So, at the end of the day, these upper-level experienced riders are there with their experience, and at the end of the day, you just have to go and ask. If you're not sure, everyone's here to help one another. This sport is so much built on competition, and while we are competing, as I said earlier, there wouldn't be a sport if we didn't have each other. And I think that it's something that definitely people of my generation and younger should always remember, that the experience of the level riders, they're there to just as much to compete, but also to teach. Most of them are excellent teachers, and they're there. They would be happy to answer your questions. And if you're not sure about something, or if you have a question about a combination, just if you see someone walking around, try it up next to them and say, hey, could I ask you a cool question? How did 6AB ride, or something like that? Or if you have a question about studs or something, you see Karen or David standing around, and you just, hey, do you have a second? Can I ask you a question? And that's definitely communication, I think, between riders is something that oftentimes people, underestimate. It's huge. When you hear someone coming back to the barn and they're like, God, I really slipped on the turn to 4. That's something that you can go and ask about. And I think that's something really important that a lot of the younger riders, we don't always have enough confidence to go up and ask a question, but it may just take a couple extra seconds and a couple extra nerves to go and ask a question, but it'll save you a bad jump or a unfortunate, spill or something like that. So never be afraid to ask questions. Any and all questions. No question is too stupid.
Yeah, that's so true. I think good advice. And, I can't think of a rider that would not want to help you. In general, if you go and approach them and just ask them if they have a second, if this is a good time. And as a rider, you kind of sense when it's a good time anyway. If they're busy, and when would be an appropriate moment. Just to go and ask, and chances are they'd be just delighted that you actually went to ask them. They would feel very honored that you wanted their advice. So I think that's really good advice.
Well, thank you to Ashley and to Chris Stafford. That was taken from eventingradio.com, episode number 66. You can listen into that episode as Chris and Ashley speak to former Olympic champion Leslie Law, who's their guest this week, fresh from his win at Pine Top. And you can hear all of that at eventingradio.com. Don't forget, if you want to drop me an email, you can do so at Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com. And horseradionetwork.com is where you can find all the other great shows on the network. And don't forget that the Jumping Radio Show, our brand new show, is coming out of the box this week. We had a test episode a couple weeks ago, and now they'll be rocking and rolling every week. They're over there at jumpingradio.com. Be sure to check it out. It's a fun show. Well, thank you, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.